Cottman, Crawford, and the Jersey Guy podcast.
Hey everybody, Kenny Cottman.
Lewis Crawford.
And I'm Tom Ramage, the Jersey Guy.
Yo, what's up, my peoples? How's everybody doing? What's going on?
Not much. What's going on, guys?
All right.
You guys good?
It's good. Everything's great, man.
Yeah? Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is good. Got a good podcast. We're going to talk about GMOs, my friend. We all know what that's about, right? Unraveling the good and the bad.
Which stands for genetically modified organisms.
Okay, exactly. I was going to catch that one. Yeah.
Yeah, the complexities surrounding genetically modified organisms.
Yes.
So
now forgive us because everybody watching, be up and down looking through our phones to get their notes and stuff.
Well, I got to have to research something.
Yeah.
I have a fancy thing right now yet that I can read off up here.
He's fancy. Yeah,
No
we're trying to
teleprompter.
But
no teleprompters.
Not yet.
We're not that
It's not in
rich
the
yet.
budget.
Nah, you know what? No,
We don't want a teleprompter.
Yeah, no,
right.
I'm gonna memorize this shit.
So what we're talking about today, can you imagine today is the no,
Right.
that'd be
No.
crazy.
But anyway, this is an interesting subject because there's good about it and bad about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
The scientists say one thing, then you have the studies that say differently, things like that.
Okay.
That so like anything else is always good and positive. So we'll figure. We'll see what's going
All
on.
right, so go ahead. So what is it? So we know it's genetically modified organisms
Right.
in plants, food, and what else?
Let's start with the okay. One of the most significant advantages of GMOs lies in agriculture.
Mm-hmm.
These modified crops can be engineered to withstand harsh element conditions such as drought, extreme temperatures, ensuring greater resilience and higher yields. Additionally, GMOs can reduce the need for chemical pesticides and contamination of potentially lower production costs for farmers.
Okay.
Right.
So that's a positive thing about it,
Right.
So it should, but others say it different. Like they'll say that, but this is the other problems you can run into. So we'll get to that.
All right. So now, what do you know about GMOs? Now, you being a vegan, is it different for you?
Well, actually, it's funny that you say that, and this is where it gets really fucking weird with GMOs, is that they have in certain crops. I read that they've GMO'd like animal DNA into it.
Into the plant?
Yeah, I gotta look. It could be bogus. So anybody listening,
right.
Conspiracy
do your
theory.
research and see.
Yeah, double check.
If I'm full of shit, or I'm just But I read somewhere that they were able to that they did that for whatever reasons because they had some kind of properties. But plants and animals are different.
Yeah, so
Different
Right,
families,
that up,
so
man.
different
Yeah,
kingdom. You know what I
should look it
mean?
up. But now
Check it
here's
out.
my question though.
But-
So now the GMOs, does it affect you
Well,
or vegans?
I don't think it.
No, it's probably-
it doesn't make any difference. So, but the thing that I always say about GMOs, and I don't know if we're going to get into this topic yet, but is like, the bad. Everybody always talks about the bad. Everything thinks no GMOs, no GMOs, and
right.
the thing with GMOs is what the GMO is used for. Like,
Right.
Like the one that people always talk about is glyphosate. Glyphosate is what they spray the wheat with when they grow wheat for flour, bread, all this stuff. They spray it with glyphosate to which is a herbicide, right? But the GMO makes it resistant to the herbicide, so it doesn't die from the glyphosate. But it's in the
So now it's part of the plant, basically.
they spray the whole plant with it, and
Right.
you know what I mean. I forget.
So you're getting that. You're consuming that.
Right.
Right. Which can be an issue.
Right.
Right. Of
So,
course. I mean,
I don't have the full information, but I from what my understanding is that's why they spray it to kill the rest of the plants or whatever.
so check it
so
out.
it's resistant. So that's the problem. Like,
right.
I don't know why they couldn't do a GMO that would make it resistant, but it might make it like not the same flavor of what you're eating, because a lot of times I think when they make something resistant, like they'll like add something to it from another plant, like a pine or something. No, I'm not saying pine. I'm just pulling something.
Right. I get it. I get what you're saying.
But like it'll make, which will unattract insects from
from trying to eat the crops or
herbicide,
everything.
but
Right. So it's coming out of the plant.
But you might
insects will stay away from it.
But you might take away from the flavor because now
Right.
it might taste
But-
fucking like
right,
pine.
right.
You have an apple that
Right.
tastes like fucking pine, you know?
Right.
So and is that even good for you in the first place? You know, who would want? You know, but I get what you're
But
saying,
to
right?
me, the cool side though that they could do is they could make like this like amazing fruit that combines flavors from other fruit. Like how
Right.
awesome would that
Now,
be? to
that's
make
what
this,
I've
like
seen.
Frankenstein
Right.
fruit that's
Yeah.
got like
Right.
like a watermelon that tastes like grapes,
Right.
Or
So-
like an apple that tastes like cherries. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
Like, I
yeah.
got
So
this
I'm going to
cherry
come back
apple.
to that. So
Yeah.
I got to come back to that. Go ahead. What were you going to
So I was going to say, so GMOs, the potential to address global food security challenges by enhancing the nutritional content of crops, increasing their resistance to pests and diseases. GMOs have the capacity to improve the quality and quantity of food available, especially in regions prone to food scarcity.
Right.
So
you literally, so it's just basically.
So those I'm
changing-
reading the good things, right?
Right.
We're
But
gonna
it's
go
just
ahead.
changing I guess evolving, not changing, just
Right. So in
evolving
other words,
the-
it's we're able to go ahead and make We can make
Right.
food, and and we have the capability to do that. So that's good.
So now then, now if you can splice like when you grow a plant, like you were just saying, Tom, that then you could make cherry strawberry. You know what I'm saying? Like then that would be the same difference. No. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know if
and-
necessarily just because they splice things together. I think it's just a matter of fact how they go about it. This is a positive thing on how
Right.
it can do, right?
Right.
But moreover, lingering uncertain surroundings, the long-term effects of GMOs consumption of human health. While regulatory agencies assert the GMOs on the market are safe for consumption, some studies suggest potential risks such as allergic reactions or the transfer of antibiotic-resistant genes. These concerns underscore the importance of ongoing research and transport communications regarding the safety of GMOs.
Right.
Sorry, that was a lot, but
No. Right.
but that
Okay.
it basically was hitting everything we were
Right.
just talking
so
about.
What were you gonna say?
No,
I was going to say.
no.
So then, for me, so now we know that they can do the GMOs and set up GMOs for in living creatures. So they could do it in pigs and mosquitoes and stuff like that,
Right.
to make the offspring weaker, things like that for the mosquitoes, not the pigs, for the mosquitoes. You know what I'm saying?
Hell,
Yeah. So I just said, so they put the GMOs, mosquito design birth weak offspring. So these are all to me. So from what I'm reading, and this is just a quick little Google search.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I remember some about mosquitoes that they were trying to do.
Right. So that then this way the mosquitoes aren't, not as deadly, not as much.
So, or making it where they help the actual.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So that then that's in everything. You know what I'm saying? So that then the GMOs are for it, they can do it in everything. They can do it in our crops, like you were saying earlier. You could do it in
They do it
the
with
fruit and stuff.
Well, here's one thing they do it. They definitely do it with marijuana as far as crossbreeding them and all that stuff.
Right, exactly. So that then, I mean, that's like,
That's a weed.
well, yeah, duh.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yes,
I'm saying,
I wasn't
duh,
trying to be funny. I was just
I'm
saying,
saying, duh, like that. It makes it just
Right.
hit me when you said it. So, then now, when does it draw the line? You know what I'm saying? For you, for them, for scientists.
Well, they say you're going against nature. So, maybe there's something that could, you can maybe create an allergy. You know what I mean? Or something crazy can, there's always the unknown, right? Like we're doing this a lot. Like how far are we going to go into it? We're going
Right.
to start GMOing. People are going to start GMOing animals. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
well,
they
but
get some
don't-
Franken animal.
exactly.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
But that's what they were
Who
talking about.
knows
When
if they're not even doing it already?
but remember when they were when they were cloning, they were cloning the animals.
Oh, that's right.
But
I remember
like in that-
And it worked.
They had done a sheep, and they were, like, no, you can't do
Or
that.
like that. So that, was really bizarre. Do you ever watch Upload? Did you ever see Upload?
Yeah, I love upload.
Yeah.
Do you remember the cow that had the VR set, and the cow
Right,
had like
you see?
1,000 fucking udders or some
Exactly,
shit like
yeah,
that? And
so-
they're like,
so it
and they
was-
had
yeah.
the cow with a VR set, this Frankenstein cow that
Yeah.
that was like the length of the fucking barn.
Yeah.
and but the cow was wearing like a headset, and they're like, "Don't worry, he thinks he's on a grassy field."
Yeah,
You know,
right.
like-
yeah. Doesn't even know that, this is going on.
Yeah,
scary
but
shit.
still,
Right,
like,
exactly. And that's what
still
we're saying.
fucked up.
Yeah, big
It's
time,
still,
bro.
even as a vegan, like
Right.
that doesn't make.
That-
Again, I'm more for
Right, yeah.
ending exploitation than making welfare issue. But
Yeah.
it's
Right,
just-
I got you.
But it's
But
just right. So then it's all those
crazy,
things,
yeah.
because now here we go. A bunch of years ago, there was on 2020, and I tell this story a few times, told it a few times. There was a thing where all the things that they were putting into the food, so like steroids and stuff and meats and whatnot, because they needed more meat to feed the masses.
Yeah, yeah.
And bigger cows, bigger bull, bigger pigs and whatnot. So that's what then they can get the food that they need, that we need, that they could sell and everything else with it.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
All those things started showing up in our kids. Right. So that then when we were kids, that kids were, at 13, or their hormones went fucking ballistic.
Yeah, women are getting their periods.
All the steroids.
Girls are getting their periods at like 8 years old.
Because they're getting steroids from all the food they're eating in the milk. And
exactly.
Boys are growing beards or
at fucking 12 years old and stuff like that.
You're getting like a lot of
going through puberty sooner and stuff.
Gynomastia where they get
gynomastia, man.
Yep.
That's a good word.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, here's 25 cents. Hold on, all your quarter. But it's just all these things. So that then now my fear, my thought, because I'm that guy.
Of course you are.
What is this going to do in the next handful of years? So we don't even know what this might have done to us already, because GMOs have been in so many things. So far as we know, we're not really sitting here. We're just
here we go.
Nobody.
Existential crisis.
We're on GMOs right now.
I didn't say Matrix stuff. I'm just saying I'm just mean it's just what has it done to us?
No, I know what you mean. I think the thing is with GMOs, I think for plants, it's not, it probably doesn't affect us as much because we're not plants. You know what I mean? So you don't get the whole hormones and all that stuff. I think when you start GMOing animals and you start changing their DNA,
right?
If you're going to consume,
that's just eventually going to lead to people. That's basically what's going to happen.
Animal DNA. We're animals, so animal DNA. You know what I mean? Like, it's fucking with that shit.
But again, it's one of those things where even with the plants, though, how healthy. You just said that there could be allergies.
Yeah, like it could. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm just like pulling something out of my ass.
No, but you're right.
But who knows what it could do?
Yeah.
Or you create like a porn. Like that's another thing. Can you imagine they GMO?
I think you say a porn. I'm like, what?
I cut myself up. I said I was going to say poison, but like make like this GMO, this like super poison that like that could that's more
could wipe everything
powerful.
Out.
Just to, and again. These are the things, and I know because I'm the guy, that I just go, I go to the dark side.
You need to be a little bit more positive.
I know, but it's just that all that shit bothers me.
I know, I get it.
Because,
I totally get it.
Again, so I mean, sitting here with you guys though for so long, right? For the time that we've been doing the podcast and whatnot, and I learned so much from you, a handful of our guests that I'm listening to things that they're saying. And I'm like, fuck, like there's a lot of shit out there that I never paid attention to.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that then here we got the GMOs. What was it that used to be in the Chinese food that they were?
It was.
Yeah, but that stuff that was in the Chinese food that they said we couldn't use it anymore.
That, but yeah.
That they didn't want them to use it anymore. And then, well, it wasn't just Chinese food. I'm just remembering because it was Chinese food. It was in a bunch of fast food restaurant stuff.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Everybody who's watching will see the light bulb just appear in my head.
Go ahead.
Because I'm sorry to cut you off, because I remember the animal DNA with the crossing with the plant DNA.
Right.
They, from what I read, I forget what animal it was. It was a lightning bug or like a fish that can, or like any of the fish that can like glow. Mm-hmm. They figured out a way to cross with the GMO DNA and put it into trees so the trees would glow.
What the fuck?
Like so you wouldn't need night lights. They would have.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's cool, but it's like really, bro. Like
it's not hurting the tree. Why not?
Well, you don't know it's not hurting the tree.
It'll be like Avatar.
Yeah.
How much shit was glowing in that movie, man? Everything.
They were on another fucking planet, bro.
Yeah, okay, but maybe.
Yeah. That's where I was like, it's kind of like
that's
borderline. It's kind of like, that's where it's like,
right,
for vegans, that's really fucking weird.
I understand, and I totally get what you're saying in regards to that.
If people planted those trees, then that would then it would just exist forever. Because not only that, like now you've created a new fucking species of fucking tree that glows.
Right.
And now it's going to drop acorns and start growing more glowing trees.
Well, no, but it's going to start glowing. It's going to do that to the trees, and then who eats the fucking acorns?
And imagine if that ends up being the fucking got
well, they should do it with trees because trees will grow. We need them.
No. What I'm saying, but then who feeds off of the plants, off of the trees?
All these glowing animals you'll have now? No. Nah.
You see
I
what I'm
think
saying?
it would just their shit would glow.
Well,
they need it, you know what I mean?
no. It would be in the beginning.
It may not even
maybe.
be harmful to them.
You think it's going to
you would
alter their
hope.
DNA? And we're
Yeah, it would alter the DNA, and then I'm just saying.
And think it would adapt
Right. Yeah,
like
okay.
everything else.
But again, that's because the three of us sitting here, you guys just stay on that positive. I'm positive. I promise. I am a fucking positive. I'm a positive person. I tell everybody, love everybody else.
But with that tree.
But with the tree. So now if acorn having that,
How do you know
that
it's gonna be an
GMO,
acorn, though?
that's no, I'm going by what
I'm
Tom
just
said.
saying,
I
it's
got
an
you.
oak tree or whatever.
Right. So say oak
Maybe it's
tree.
a pine. It does. And
Well,
then
a
it
pine
has,
tree. Well, either way, the leaves, or whatever it is, the plants. So you have the caterpillars, the worms, the birds, whatever it is that's eating the berries, that's eating the acorns, the squirrels that grab
what
the
are those
acorns.
things that the pine trees drop? That's technically their
that's
seed.
what you
are
said
those
earlier.
called, the things that they
Pine
drop?
cone.
Pine cone. Yeah,
Pine cone, right? So then you have, like I said, all these
Glowing pine
things
cones,
that animals eat, that insects eat, the birds eat. Now it's in there. So now, how does that change?
Well, it makes it easier to see the insect if that happens.
Yeah,
check 'em out.
Right, yeah, but but then what about it? What does it do to them inside?
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? Like now, is it going to be growing? It's going to get a little bit bigger.
But we're
to a
asking
butterfly that
questions
fucking
we
talks?
have no answers to.
Well,
But
yeah,
how cool would that be?
not-
Have like a whole. Imagine they make that like the dominant, like it's like a dominant tree that grows faster. So
Right.
and all of a sudden you get a whole fucking forest full of fucking glowing trees. You imagine what that would look like?
Well, it depends on where you put them too, right? You wouldn't put them in front of somebody's house. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't know, because some people might think that's pretty groovy.
I think.
Well, it depends on how many
I think
do,
the whole
right?
idea
So I
was
can't even-
is like if
what?
you were to plant
Nobody's
these,
gonna-
you would need street lights or something like that. Like that was the
Okay,
thing.
so now we'll do that route.
Which
the
wouldn't be a
green-
bad thing when you think of
Right.
it that
So
way.
then that means less electricity.
Right, of
being
course.
spent,
So
everything
environmental.
environmental. So that would work.
Right. So check it out. Environmental.
You can see the fucking deer. If the deer, we wouldn't hit fucking deer.
Well, they were here first, but we'll have to get into that
See
conversation.
this guy.
By decreasing the need for pesticides and herbicides, GMOs can lessen the environmental impact of farming, reducing soil and water contamination, which that's a positive, right?
Right.
Improves soil health. Some GMOs crops can be engineered to improve soil health by fixing nitrogen and enhancing nutrient uptake.
Okay.
So that kind of stuff
Right. So
is good.
Yes.
They're doing it to try to make, okay, now we got to make the soil healthy too. So that's a good thing, right? Because you want to do that because you still have, because remember, we have a lot of contaminants in the air. This shit pumped in the air all day from different
Right.
parts of the world. Who knows who's doing what,
right.
right?
thing with
Us especially, because we're like one of the biggest contributors to freaking
Right.
pollution.
Yeah. It's not car farts.
But it's all of it.
Well, I'm just
But
saying.
it's not just cow
It's not
farts.
just cow
No,
farts.
it's everything.
but
you
my
know.
thing is like
So that does help.
if GMO is done in a way where it's meant for like a greater good, like yeah, I see that's no problem. It's like, but when you start doing it for profits, it's just like that slippery slope.
Right, of course, like anything else.
You know,
Right.
what
Right.
sack?
And then when
it's like
somebody's
everybody's
slipping the
like,
bill,
oh,
you have
maybe,
to-
yeah, it's
whoever you
okay
work
if
for,
we
you're
have
gonna-
this.
Yeah. But and that's what it. I think that's why I say what I say. And when we have these conversations, because you guys say the positive, it's going to be this, it's going to be that. And I'm like, but one more thing, because of all, these are things that probably would benefit us. You know what I mean? It would make us better. It could make us healthier. We would be able to live longer or whatever and all that other good shit. But because what it would take away from other, I guess we'll say big business, that none of that stuff comes out. Or not that it doesn't come out, it comes out less.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that then I know I'm not supposed to kind of go
No,
this
I'm
way.
just saying. Think you could say that about anything in life.
Right. Oh yeah, definitely.
Anything we could bring up a subject right now, and you would have the positive and negative. That's just
Right.
part of it.
Right.
It's just a matter of hopefully, as a society, a world,
Right.
country, everything.
Yeah.
We can do it in some kind of balance where it's leaning more in the positive, and that's the main idea, to keep it in that field. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Right.
So it gets out of hand and it becomes something that's abusive or anything like that. We can't. First of all, you don't want that to happen. Hopefully, that would never happen.
Right.
But it sounds like from what we're reading, it's pretty positive.
Yeah.
But you still understand there could be negative things to it too. But what people are because of how it's made or done.
But the thing is too is like because of all the negative stuff has gotten so much attention.
Right.
That like now you see on products, no GMO, no GMO. People have now fears of GMO.
Right.
Because of all the negative stuff that
and me talking about it like that. Yeah. Definitely.
Right. And that's the age we live in.
Yeah.
With everything.
And again, so like, all right, so boom. We know that.
So you just got to be smart enough to know, to read through the bullshit and just say, okay.
Well, I mean, because it's like anything else.
You know,
because
you get the right information from the right place.
Right. So now it does go back to what you said earlier about allergies, because people can be allergic to the reaction.
Dogs have an issue with their food too.
With GMOs.
Right? Yeah. Just because of the way the food's made and everything, just the fact that it's not really healthy for them, right?
Right.
So I get what you're saying. It could either give you an allergy, or it could also help. Where you can eat it now because you had an allergy.
Right.
It removes that for you.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying.
That'd
So
be
like,
cool too.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Whatever is in the plant that makes you allergic to it, maybe they can remove that.
So like Dr. Google. So here it is. So ever since GMOs have entered the food supply, numbers of irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, leaky gut syndrome, constipation, and acid reflux have sharply risen. Now, that's Dr. Google speaking, right? How is I guess I'm saying I'm going straight to the conspiracy part. Is it just that what some people are saying and putting into Dr. Google to say, oh my God, don't do the GMO thing, leave it alone. It's gonna fuck you up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When it could be literally what you guys are saying, that it's a positive thing.
Right.
It is.
You know what I mean? Because it could help
most
us.
of it, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure more positive than negative.
And
the thing is, like,
this stuff is usually regulated and everything.
Right.
You think anyway.
the thing is, like, a lot of the negative stuff attracts a lot of attention, and like the one thing is like, the company Monsanto, right? Have you heard of them?
No.
They're a very big company, and they're talked about a lot. It's definitely a good documentary. Everybody can watch it. Is Food Inc. It's on Netflix. It's been around for a while, but they show all the stuff that these different companies do, and like how fucked up shit. And like Monsanto has, they own Roundup. They're the company that owns Roundup.
Oh, wow.
They do a lot of the pesticides, but they also, for some reason, they genetically modified this like soybean, and it's supposed to like produce a lot of soy, and it's supposed to be like a really resilient crop, and it's like, I don't know.
Okay.
I'm sure it's just really good, but they passed legislation where like you can own the rights to a crop. If you GMO and create a crop, you can own the rights to it, and like you can like you own it. Like people, like you can actually control and sue people who like own like the seeds and stuff like that. So like these companies, they subcontract these farmers,
right?
And they give them the seeds for the soy. And if they like save seeds, they have like investigators that follow them around, and if the seeds aren't accounted for, they get like, they'll get charges filed on them and stuff. It's fucked up. It's real food system. Yeah, the way they treat
business.
these
And there you go.
farmers
Right.
and
So
stuff
then
like
that turns into now.
So fucked up.
But that turns into, like I was saying,
Definitely a good documentary watch. It's on Netflix. It's been on Netflix forever.
Yeah. Well, but then like I said,
It's over 10 years old, but it's still good. Yeah.
So then it turns into now is the big business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like anything else. I know people listening and watching. Like I said, I just do the negative stuff every once in a while to throw it in, because these guys come into the positive
you're looking
stuff, because I'm going on both sides.
You're flipping, right? You're looking at you can't be blind and not say that's not going to be negative.
This can be or whatever.
Right.
But it's literally like anything else. No matter what we eat. Like, so now I'm thinking vegetable oil was the fucking shit, and I'm going to cook with vegetable oil, blah, 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 blah. And here you go and tell me it doesn't matter what oil, because when you heat it up, it could still be bad for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm freaking, I'm half black, half
you
vegan,
shouldn't,
bro. I deep fry fucking everything.
I know, but they do say that the oils are an issue as far as
better than
for your heart.
Right.
You shouldn't be. You should use olive oil.
Right. So now, if they can take the GMO and modify it to where I don't have that issue, I'm gonna be a happy bitch.
But they genetically modify it where it's no longer omega 6, it's omega 3s instead.
Exactly.
Turn the omega 6s into omega 3s.
Exactly. That we're gonna be able to eat certain foods, and nothing but vitamins.
They could be working on it as we speak.
Hell yeah. That like I'm not a big fish eater, but then that I turn
Neither
around
am I.
and no
So,
jokes. That
I take a supplement.
Right.
As far as fish oil is
eat that
concerned.
stuff. Right. That's
I
where
take algae
I'm
oil.
looking.
That's the vegan version of fish oil, algae oil. That's what the fish eat, the algae.
Oh,
That's where
algae.
They,
really?
That's where they get the omega.
That's interesting.
They don't like people think that like the salmon like have omega-3 in them.
Right.
They don't have. It's the algae they eat that
creates the omega.
That puts the omega-3 into their bodies
Because they have to get it somehow as well too. That makes sense.
So I just get it from the source.
I never thought of that.
Yeah,
So
I
I
know
just-
did I.
I
Bro,
just
you're
get it
so
from the
smart.
source.
Oh my God.
Thanks so much.
Such a
No, but
genius.
no, I just get it from the source. I get algae oil, and
even
it's
think
I'm
about
gonna look that up.
Yeah,
I'm gonna check it out.
so weird too when you open it up. It smells like fish, but it's the algae. That's what the fish
So
smell
then
like. They smell like
they
algae.
smell like the algae. Ain't that some shit? What
That's the
fuck?
fishy smell. Yeah, they're algae.
Right.
See, I got so many jokes. I'm being good because this
Yeah.
is a good.
Okay. Anyway.
You're gonna say algae smells
Yeah,
like someone
no,
smells
don't do
like
it.
algae. I know. I can't help it.
Oh man.
I took it there. You told them
Yeah.
to be tame, and I was like, nah.
You did it. I knew one of you were gonna do it anyway.
What? Us? No.
It smells like algae in here. Close your legs.
Yo, what? That's great. But no, but seriously, so now, all right, so now, ready?
Yeah.
Supplemental vitamins,
Okay.
right? So, you got one?
Well, I have something. Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
No, no.
You have to do
Finish.
the vitamins?
Finish what you were saying, please.
Oh my God, I just want to be here. No, so now, right? So here we go, right? Do they then GMO the vitamins?
Well, I don't know, but what I was going to read was nutritional enhancement, biofortification. GMOs can be enriched with vitamins, minerals to address nutritional deficiency. Golden rice, which is engineered to contain beta carotene, vitamin A.
Okay.
In some developing countries, they are deficient, so they make it, so they have it, so they can get it. I guess they don't have it in quantity there, so they can't get it enough, so they make it, so they can.
Right.
So that they make it for
Okay.
that reason.
So there you go.
I think canola oil is GMO.
Yes, you did. You said that it was.
It is, but supposedly those oils are not healthy for you, based
So-
on what they're saying, as far as heart health is concerned.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Heart health is they say you should just use olive oil.
Yeah. Olive oil's good.
But then
Yeah.
doesn't olive oil have the same
No,
characteristics when you
so much better for you. Yeah.
Well, see, I'm thinking,
Yeah.
thought that it was all
And the only
basically same
difference
shit.
between light olive oil, regular
You can cook
olive
with it
oil,
too,
and
by the
extra
way.
virgin olive oil is like really the clarity and flavor. Like if you get light olive oil, it's like barely tastes like anything. It's very clear.
Right. You can get it
very
in
light.
different.
And then
varieties.
I happen to like getting the robust olive oil.
Right.
It's very tastes like olive, like it
Right.
like it's very like flavorful.
Right.
It's like
Right.
it's like that's like olive oil you dip in bread and
Right.
put
Yeah,
salt
yeah,
and
yeah.
pepper, and then dip it in the bread.
See, I guess I'm just stuck on the idea, the thought of being able to deep fry. I know we have air fryers now and blah, 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 rah, 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 rah. But just the idea of being able to deep fry the stuff I'm so French fries, bro. Oh my God, French fries.
you know,
make them like that.
I air fry.
The air fry's good.
Right, I know it is good, but
It is, man.
I just can't find one big enough because once I make it, I'm just working.
I
Yeah,
had a
you're
big
burning.
one.
You can burn all your GMOs in there.
Well, you know what? The good part is whenever you're ready to upgrade, to get a new oven, they have air fryers now in them. They build
In
them
an oven?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, see Suzanne. She sells.
Oh, shit.
at,
That's right.
Reno's
Yeah, you did
Supply.
say-
Just give her a free plug. Reno's
yeah, yeah.
Appliance. Go see Suzanne. She was on her show.
Yeah, she was.
She
was a good guest.
She sold me the what do you call it? When we redid our kitchen, I bought the stove and
Oh, that's right, you did tell us
it has a convection oven, which I use the convection more than anything
Right.
else. It has an air fryer built into
Right.
it too.
No,
There it is. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So then you can and it's a big air fryer basket, the whole size of the oven.
Right.
Space. You put all your fries on there, boom,
Yeah.
a whole bag of fries.
Well, no, I want to make my own fries. So again, I want to.
Oh, yeah, I cut-
so I
yeah.
wanna- That's what I'm saying. I want to cut the potato up.
Peel the potato, soak
Yeah,
them,
yeah.
cut it up,
That's
put them
where
in
I'm
oil.
at.
That's
I
what
buy
my
the
mother
frozen-
made them all the time.
I buy the frozen fries.
Yeah, my mother made
they're
them
ready
like
to
that.
go because
I always
they-
make French
they coat
fries.
them in oil
My kids
already.
were little.
so they're ready to go for the air fryer. the
Yeah,
frozen
you
fries.
see?
So I just boom.
So get back to the GMOs real quick. So, if they can do that for the oil, like you were saying, and they can deep fry it, like you were able to deep fry it without having any
Right.
of the health issues with it, they say you can get. then why? Can't imagine why they couldn't do that. You know what I mean? The fact that it could help people who are allergic to things. It give obviously the vitamins they were just talking about, where they can help people where they're deficient in certain places, so they can get that. So I see a lot. I mean, if they can do that and it's all positive, it's helpful. To me, it looks like what we talked about, the Star Trek shit that's starting to happen.
Yeah.
It's just like it's going in that, hopefully,
Also for, medicine and alchemy.
Yes,
you know
and
what
medicine.
I mean?
Absolutely.
Maybe there's a plant that produces certain something, but it just, it doesn't grow well anywhere else but like on the summit of a mountain in China. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now we can make it grow anywhere. They made a GMO and now it has this medicine that you can extract.
So let's bring up pharmaponics, remember?
Yeah. There we go.
We did that podcast. And that could be incorporated with that somehow.
Yeah, exactly.
So they don't need to have it outside. And they have it in a warehouse, and they've got all these things growing in the water and everything.
Make a GMO or there's positives. I don't think
there's so much you can do.
Right, but then that will be in the soil, and because the hydroponics doesn't even grow in dirt like
my thing is.
Well, if you can, you do it both ways. It doesn't matter. Okay. If they're going to grow it outside.
I'm assuming with GMO, don't they have FDA regulations on it?
I don't assume.
Well, that's
it
the
has
thing.
to have a GRAS certification.
Right.
GRAS is GRAS, GRAS.
Well, there's a
recognized as safe.
But there's a handful of countries that are banning it because they don't want GMO because there's no scientific proof that it's beneficial. So that then
that's what they're saying.
That's what the problem is.
Some kind of scientific research and testing.
So now, that's why I was saying what I was saying earlier.
That's what I'm saying.
So that then now there's no real proof that it's that kind of beneficial. Do we keep messing around and just?
Well, obviously it is. They're saying that they use it that when they make it,
right? But not all countries.
Well, not all countries, right?
Right. That's the thing. So then, if
most of our foods in this country are banned anyway in most countries,
right? Exactly. So that then now
we basically friggin' poison.
So that now we use it.
And it's not because of the GMOs. It's because of all the other bullshit that they're putting in.
So everything else in between, the processed foods. Right. So that then now, if they're not doing the GMOs in other countries, you know what I mean? The same way that they're banning a lot of the process that we used for our foods. Is GMO the way to go? You know what I mean? Like how much more are...
do we really have that much control?
Countries?
Really?
Yeah, no. And that's...
What would you say, Tom? You think we have that much control where we can regulate it on our own if we didn't want to have GMOs in our life? It's probably as hard as what you're doing. Well, I'm not saying that being a vegan is hard, but I'm sure you've run into obstacles because of it when you first started, right?
As long as there's a market for people who don't want GMOs, they're going to make... think about organics. People are really big in organic foods, which is no GMO. Organics, there's no GMO free. So, like stuff at Whole Foods and all that, there's a huge market for it. So I think GMOs won't take over. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because there's people who are against it. You know what I mean? I don't think, like I said, I don't think GMOs are bad on their own. But I think it's why is something a GMO is the thing to be careful about. Like, did they make it so they can spray it with pesticides now and and it won't die from, or spray it with herbicides and it won't die from herbicides? You know what I mean?
Right.
And now that's kind of the food. And like, I know they say like a lot of those herbicides are safe after a certain time, but like,
meanwhile,
maybe like, our research showed after for a couple weeks, he ate it for a couple weeks, he was fine, and then like 10 years later, he's got fucking third eye and fucking an ear growing on the forehead. Who the fuck knows? What I'm saying?
Well, I just found out that it is regulated by the FDA.
GMOs?
But like what? Yes,
the regulation is genetically modified organisms. Involves three main federal agencies: the FDA, the Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA, and the U.S. Department of Agriculture, the USDA.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So there's three departments that are looking over this.
But like, what do they? You know what I mean? Like, if it's just like, oh, that's fine, or do they look at it? They do scientific research.
I would hope so. I think that's
what I would hope so. But like, it was just the FDA's got it. But what's if the FDA is like, yeah, it's fine,
right? But then
I doubt that they would do that. What I mean?
So don't forget though, GMOs also they make the food look better to us. Whether it makes it greener, redder.
Sometimes they do that too. They'll make it so
that then rather than just putting the food dye in whatever, even for those of us
like in our Lucky Charms,
they don't make it look brown because brown, like, ooh, brown. but that steak is really brown.
I can't help
It's
not
not-
mention this without
Go
you
ahead.
mentioning dyes.
Go ahead.
Because
All right,
I
go
just
ahead.
can't. You know that maybe Suzanne talked about when this here, but you know they put red dye in beef.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they put the red dye so that this way it makes it look more appealing
because
to
it's
us.
oxidized and brown.
Right.
And
That doesn't do
Exactly.
nothing for me.
Well, again, but if we
Even
saw
though-
the brown meat though, so when we see brown meat at the store, we're like,
doesn't look.
oh
It looks
shit,
gross. Ugh.
is that really good? How long has it been sitting here?
A long time.
You know what I mean?
A long time.
Right,
That's
so
why
the-
they put dyes in them. So now you have meat that's fucking
Right.
3 months old.
Right. Did
Whoa.
you know that?
I'm not saying
not literally 3 months.
I don't know.
but yeah,
how,
yeah.
I don't
I
even
know
think
how
they can
long.
leave it out that long.
No. But we
I'm
just
exaggerating,
Yeah,
but you know what I mean?
Did you
Like,
know
What
that?
supermarket you shopping at?
No. Did you know that though? That they put the red
And
dye?
they,
No, I didn't know
and,
that.
and if you start looking at the meat packages now, it's like a bubble.
Yep.
Because they fill it with what's a
Nitrogen.
nitrogen gas.
Mhm.
So it doesn't oxidize.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So
Interesting.
then it's more shelf stable and
Right.
Right.
lasts longer. But
Yep. So these are little things. That's what I'm saying. So that now GMOs, will that help stop that kind of stuff? You know what I mean? And it's not just for meat. We're talking about the vegetables because so like I was watching a hack, and if you take avocados and you put them into water, put them in your fridge, they'll last longer sitting in the water because they're not sitting out in the open air and they're not, I guess oxidizing would be the word, and they'll last longer. You know what I mean? Would then GMOs help from that happening?
well, you know what they would need to do is they would need to cross I'm saying cross-pollinated.
Right.
This is actually in a lab, but they would have to put something in it that has citrus,
Right.
Because, or anything that has because I don't think they have antioxidants in them. It's
But
just avocados.
Yeah.
Avocados are more known for their the omegas,
Right.
but they would have to put a plant. You cross it with a plant that has antioxidants, like citrus. That's why citrus that's what called antioxidant.
Right.
It doesn't turn color like an apple or a banana or an
Right.
avocado.
Right. No,
because they
it-
don't have antioxidants in them. So if they were to put a plant that has antioxidants, you'd get like it would probably stay
Right.
the
So
same
then the
color.
GMOs would
But
be
the side effect might be like it just stays like bright green and never turns
Right.
black.
And- right,
Or
exactly.
So you don't know when it's fucking ripe.
Yeah,
It's
but
just-
that's the thing that is supposed to make it that it doesn't rot.
yeah. Yeah. But what's if it doesn't ripe? Maybe because
And they
ripening
go the
is
other
part
way.
of that process.
You need
that
to
it
have
would
it.
stop it from
Right.
ripening. Who
Yeah.
knows?
So then that's where the GMO will come in because then they would have to set up that organism
Yeah.
to make it where it's going to stop or stop.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what I mean?
I don't know if they'll be able to. I mean, that's.
But yeah, there's
But you never know, man. You never know.
Exactly. And that's what my fear is. You know what I mean? I'm 52 now. And I'm finding so many different things that I can't, shouldn't eat that, I'm like, fuck, that wasn't good for me. I ate the hell out of that. I have to stop eating this. 95% of my sugar intake is gone. I was eating candy, bro, like it was going out of style. And I just cut all that out. Now I'm like on a candy bar, maybe 2 candy bars a week, if even that much.
Right.
And that's pushing it,
It's good.
I don't even drink soda like that anymore. unless I'm
GMOs
having
are
an
in all
alcohol
that
beverage.
stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
So that then now, is that gonna, I don't know, is it an alcohol, you think?
What? Like
You said GMOs are in all that I'm a top shelf alcoholic. So then do I turn around and
I don't know, not alcohol. I just meant the foods and stuff.
I'm like, yo, you made
No,
me
no,
happy
not-
right now.
not-
Like, oh my God, I could drink more. I'm
No,
like, so fucked up.
I meant the actual foods you were
Oh
mentioning.
yeah. I get, it would be. It's nice to have
There's
to
an
think
idea.
that
There's
these
an
things.
idea.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Let's
saying.
GMO oak trees to make them more oak smelling, and then you cut them, and then you make bourbon barrels out of them, and
There
they
you
have
go.
an extra strong bourbon. And when they, because you ever see how they do the bourbon barrels,
Right.
How they light them on the inside
Yeah,
on
they
fire,
burn 'em
char
up.
them,
Mm-hmm.
and then
then you
gives
put
it
the
that
alcohol in
sweet
it.
smell,
Right.
Because if you ever charred oak, like I had an oak stump in my backyard, and I was trying to cut it down because the stump was like 5 feet tall. Like I
Right.
cut it so high, and I was trying to cut it down, and I'm cutting it with the sawzall because it wasn't a big, it was like a baby oak, and maybe it was maybe only like, I don't know, 6 inches in diameter, 6. Yeah, I don't know. It was short. But anyway, as I'm cutting it, it's starting to smoke, and it smells like fucking bourbon. I was like, it's so crazy,
Right.
Like, because when you char oak. It smells like it's got that sweet,
so that's where the smell is actually. You're right.
It's like, oh, it's the best smell. I wish I could just have charred oak.
So
in
cool
my
how
house.
they can. There's certain things help other things, and to mix them. And we've been doing that for the longest time, since the beginning of time.
But
the
can you
different flavors
imagine
and
if
different shit.
whatever that smell that comes from oak, like they put extra in it in a GMO crop, and then you have this like bourbon barrel, and then you maybe when you put the whiskey in it, it doesn't need to stay for 5 years, or it needs to stay 2.5 years.
Right.
You know, like that's another GMO. You know, you could there's it's endless.
I think that it could be something really cool and worthwhile. I really, really do. You know, again, me on that little negative bullshit, you know, that I do is just, you know, just way everybody knows, we know that anything could be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, there's always it's always two sides to everything, and that's the whole thing. So yeah. But hopefully everything is on the, you know,
it's on the up and up,
and people doing the right things, you know. But you know, there's no it's not bad for you to be a little on the skeptic side, because that's necessary in order for you to you know,
to
make sure you're
intelligent decision.
Do your research, check it out, and then find the place that you're going to be comfortable with, I guess. And then, and like I said earlier, that's basically this with anything that we do in life, right? So everything that we do, whether it's going to work or relationship or whatever, right? I mean, it's just always something. We can always find something. Yeah. There's always going to be something that's going to happen that may not be good or bad.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Listen, I eat and do, like I said, it's just us and our conversation and, you know, me playing devil's advocate and all that other good shit that I say the things that I say and questioning how I do, because, like I said, you guys are like the positive and like, yeah, it's good for this and it's going to be that. And I'm like, well, you know, but I eat all that stuff. You know what I mean? I have those foods that I question. I'll read a little bit more on it. I'll do a little bit more research. So then I'll buy differently. You know what I mean?
Kind of,
but like Tom does. Exactly.
Well, he looks at the labels to make sure there's no animal products in it.
Right, exactly.
You know, he does his diligence. He does his homework for sure.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what I do, you know. So I said, I'm not saying to anybody, you know, oh no, don't eat that. No, listen,
no, that's not what we're about. We're just here to have a conversation.
Look at everything and anything that you do, that you eat, that you're, you know, wearing, that you're whatever, meds and everything else, just to know what it could do to your body, because every single one of us is different, you know. And I do believe that the GMOs are something that could be worthwhile for us on the other end.
Well,
you know what I mean?
It looks like it's going in that direction, so and that's good.
You know, and of course, you know, I just feel like, you know, like you were saying, Americans, you know, in the States, we do things that, you know, it's like the government, let's say, whatever, put that through and see what it is. So we'll be the guinea pigs for the rest of the world. But if it's going to be something that's going to help,
not necessarily the rest of the world. The rest of the world is smart enough to know not to put that shit in their food.
Well, again, but
we're a little bit different because we're so money hungry over here. That's the problem.
It's just a difference in and what it can do for whomever. Example. So then we know that you can't, you know, basically grow an oak tree in the middle of the desert. So then if you turn around and, you know, the genetically modify whatever trees to grow in the desert to make them better, that then there can be food in those places, then shit, bro, fucking A, that should be what is going on. You know what I mean? That is not going to hurt the masses.
I think they have indoor places that they
deal
with.
But it's like, then we go back into the environmental shit.
Well, that's the problem. It's like, you know, anything that's good, people will find a way to exploit.
Right, exactly. They'll turn around and try to twist it up.
Of course.
So, you know. And again, like I said, you know, I just want everybody, I want all of us to be healthy. You know, I want everybody to be okay, you know, and that's my hope and dream. Like, that's my, you know, my thing, you know. Yeah, I still want to be a cyborg, but I just would like for everybody to just be healthy. You know what I mean? We all go through things every day.
Why is a cyborg this? I want to be a cyborg. You did that.
No, I want to be a cyborg.
Like you're gonna go grab. You know,
you know, I just want all of us to just be healthy. You know, I want it to be pain free. Hunger free. You know, I just want everybody to be
I get it.
And like I said, if GMOs or just genetically modifying anything that's gonna make us better and you know healthier, I'm all for it, man.
Well, we don't really have a choice right now, so it doesn't. You know, it's, you know, like, again, we're gonna have to just take it as, you know, be diligent and look at the label if that's what you want to do or whatever, and you don't want it in your diet, then fine, go for it. But,
I mean,
I think it's I think we're
again,
you know.
I'm
we're fine. I think
I'm talking all the futurist stuff, you know, all the cool stuff about it. But like, at the same time, like I still would try to avoid it for me personally, for the most part, just because I don't know. I don't trust.
Yeah, you don't trust it enough.
I don't trust people. I'm not so trusting that they actually did test it and
right. No,
properly.
Hey, I get it. I get it.
Paid the guy off who tested. Hey,
yeah.
Do it like a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
We passed it through.
We passed it through. It's all right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying, man. But again, you're going to have that that part of it. But you got to kind of learn how to just balance it. Everything.
Yeah.
Sometimes some things are easier, some things are not. And this is one thing that you really don't think about, and that's the whole thing I'm saying. It's like anything that you're not aware of. If you heard of it,
right?
But you didn't really look into it. And once you look into it, now you did the research, and you're like, okay, now I'm more educated. I know the negatives, I know the positives, but it looks like it's going in the right direction, which is, I think, the good thing.
Well, I said, I hope it all goes good for us. And so with that is our show for today, my gentlemen. Oh, yeah, gentlemen.
That's it.
Yes, so
hope you enjoyed it.
Yes, I hope you guys watching. Thank you for watching. Looks a little bit funny maybe because it's the first time out doing the video like this.
As they say on YouTube, please like, share, and subscribe, and hit that bell notification.
Yes. So, love, peace, and hair grease.
Live long and prosper.
And go vegan.
Holla!